This is Bishop Jackson with a sliver of life. In the book of Genesis, when we talk about marriage in the book of Genesis, the Bible talks about marriage saying that when a man leaves his mother, gets married, he leaves his mother and father in order to cleave to his wife. I'm very appalled that through the years, through the centuries, marriage has become somewhat of a joke. They have a thing now. I was just sitting here watching the news where they're taking advantage of people by planning engagements where a guy can pay $675 to have somebody do a spunky romantic setup in order for him to propose marriage. Over the years, 21 years of ministry, I've pastored and I've also counseled people getting married. And over the years, I've seen people put more emphasis in getting engaged and in planning a wedding and then doing a wedding than they put in the efforts to be married and stay married. Now, I want to say this. A lot of men and a lot of women go into marriage with an attitude this is going to be my money, your car, my car, your this and my that. You cannot, or if you do, you can go into marriage with a single mind, but in essence, you cannot have a successful marriage while living single. I'm going to say that again. Somebody's going to catch that on the way home. You cannot have a successful marriage while living single. Understand, brother, understand, sister, that when you get married, there is no more his money, his bill, my bill, his car, my car. When you make a mistake with the right side of your body, you don't continue to feed the left side of your body and starve the right side of your body in order to punish your right side. When you feed your body, you feed your whole body. Well, when you come into the marriage covenant, you stop being single and two people become one unit. I just said something there. I'm not getting a whole lot of amens, but you need to hear this if you're married or if you're planning on getting married. If you're going into a marriage with the attitude it's going to be my money, my bank account, my car, his money, his bank account, his car. If you're going in with that kind of my paycheck, no, sister, your paycheck is our paycheck. No woman's going to marry me and she have what she calls her money. She has what she calls her car. The minute you say I do, everything that comes with me is hers, and everything that comes with her is mine. It's just as much. I don't care if you work 80 hours a week and you drag in $1 million and I don't work 1 hour a week. The minute we say I do, whatever you drag in from 80 hours a week, it belongs just as much to me as it does to you, and you made it, but we're married. So when you made it, it's just like I was there doing the work myself. Now, if you can't go into a marriage with that kind of attitude, sister, if that kind of attitude, brother, then don't get married. Another thing, younger folk get married, and I'm putting this in my book that I'm writing on relationships. Younger folk get married because a lot of times they're driven more by their libido than they realize that they are. There's something in the makeup of human beings where we want to reproduce. God has programmed us to be that way. So many times, brothers and sisters, you young cats in your 20s, your late teens, and your 20s and your 30s, y'all are being moved by a libido to reproduce. That's how come you have kids with folk you can't stand 10 or 15 years later. Right now, if you talk to over half the people that have kids from folk that they can't stand now, or folk they don't want to have nothing to do with now. But back when they were making them babies, they couldn't do without that person. That's because a lot of what we do in our younger years is driven by libido. And then we make mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake, and we develop some character, and then we can be more discerning in picking our partners. And that's how come when you get older, you're less inclined to jump into stuff real quick because you've learned from your prior mistakes. And sometimes when you get older, you keep bringing your prior mistakes into your new situations. So even with the older folk, if we get into a relationship and we haven't overcome bad stuff that we've learned from other relationships, we bring the luggage, the baggage, the bones and out of the closet from past relationships and past failures, we bring it into the new relationships, and then it screws up the new relationships. And I'm talking to the older folk now. So marriage is no joke. And for you men and you women who are thinking about getting married, think about your singleness and what you appreciate about your singleness. Because the minute you say, I do, you are no longer single, you are married. And if you cannot think of your stuff, your money, and your belongings, and your this and your that, even your problems are no longer your problems alone when you get married. Brothers and sisters, the sex may be good initially, but the sex is not going to sustain a marriage. Now, the message, the sliver of life in this is you got to leave in order to cleave. You got to leave singleness when you come into marriage in order to cleave. You got to leave a lot of old garbage and old bad habits and old mistakes in order to cleave in a marriage. You cannot live single while being married. This is the sliver of life from Bishop Jackson. God bless you. If you like some more of this good teachings, call me at 407-731-6676, and I'll bring these teachings to you. God bless you.